Good Wednesday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Wednesday. Starting off, what's going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Well, the first thing I'm looking at is we have some rain going on down here inside of North Charleston, going on over near Edisto Beach, also over near Ondaw. We have some rainfall moving through these areas. A couple of them may be producing some thunderstorm activity as well. So, right now, just looking like regular shower activity right now. So maybe not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity, but it definitely is a cell as it's moving its way up towards the north and east. Now, everybody else looking pretty good. Not seeing too much in terms of rainfall activity. Now, what's going on in terms of the entire nation? Well, we do have some flooding with some storms in Virginia, some more rainfall going up throughout the Northeast, and then also throughout the South Dakota, Nebraska areas, even Kansas. Some more rainfall over in the West in like Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, down to the Four Corners area of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. And then obviously we have Tropical Storm Bertha over here right now, a 52 mile per hour storm moving its way west towards New Orleans, which it should be, about going on throughout like the next 7 hours or so over inside of these areas. So we'll see, what happened with it as we go into the tropics portion of this video. But for right now, you can definitely see that there is still a good amount of, tropical storm force winds to go all the way into Texas. Now, what's going on right now in terms of our cloud cover? Well, cloud cover right now seems to be going on from the upstate all the way over into the Midlands, to the Low Country, even into the Grand Strand areas. We can see cloud cover going on. Now, in terms of cloud cover for like the southern Midlands, you can kind of see that it's a bit clear right there in that area, but probably not for long. If we go in and take a look at our cloud cover for the future, going over into this afternoon here, you can see that cloud cover is going to start to take over the southern Midlands later on, going into like the early afternoon. But the upstate gets a bit clear, and it kind of just waves its way down throughout the Midlands, throughout the Grand Strand areas at around like 7 p.m. or so, to where we're looking at nice clear conditions, and then we clear all in like the Low Country 10 p.m. moving all the way to 12 o'clock in the morning, to where cloud cover is not going to be too much of a factor anymore as we move throughout the rest of today. Now, in terms of current temperatures, we have around 84 in Somerville, 83 Charleston, 84 in Beaufort, even around 83 in Georgetown, 83 in Myrtle Beach, Conway, 82 in Florence, 81 Lugoff, 82 Columbia, 78 Greenville, 80 in Spartanburg, Gaffney, and Rock Hill. Now, for your air quality for today, it looks like that most of us are actually inside of that moderate category. If you're in the moderate category, the yellow, make sure that you are paying attention today for that air quality, making sure you're not outside for too long. And also, if you're in the green or the bland area that's not yellow, also make sure that you go on and pay attention to the air quality as well. But you're pretty much green and good for today. Not really too concerned. Also, we also have the Horse Island wildfire going on right now inside of Berkeley County. That also adds into the air quality over there in northeastern Berkeley County, which if you are in those areas, make sure that you're also paying attention. High temperatures for today, we're talking about 91 in Greenville, 91 in Spartanburg, even 96 in Columbia, 96 in Orangeburg and Sumter, even around Kingstree, 95 in Moncks Corner, 92 in Charleston, 93 Georgetown, 90 in Myrtle Beach, 92 in Hilton Head Island. And then in terms of your heat index for today, it looks like that we are around 102, over there in Columbia, Orangeburg, and just a lot of areas 100 plus, even near Charleston, 108, Myrtle Beach, 101, Hilton Island, 106, but some areas may even get higher than that. One thing I am noticing though is that the upstate's not really receiving too much above 100, really just staying in the higher 90s. Winds for today, going to continue to stay pretty calm for a very little amount of people, but for the most of us, going to be around 10 to 15 miles per hour inland towards the coastal areas, probably around 15 to 20. And if we're going to look at our wind gust going to be around 20 all the way up to maybe close to 30 miles per hour today in terms of those wind gusts. Rainfall wise, I've run 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for a good amount of the areas from Myrtle Beach to Georgetown to Charleston, maybe even a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch in Camden, Winsboro, also over inside of Lawrence, quarter of an inch to a half an inch over inside of areas like Anderson, and then maybe even a half an inch to an inch in Greenville, Spartanburg. Somebody may even get an inch and a half. Now, if we go in and take a look at the SPC outlook, we do have a marginal risk of severe weather today up there inside the upstate from Greenville, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, Gaffney, going on down into areas like Lawrence, going on into Union, Lancaster. These areas all have the area to receive isolated damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. So if you're in that area of the dark green, make sure that you're watching out for isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. Now, in terms of the light green, that's not really a thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm risk. It's really just a strong thunderstorm risk. Like we could see some strong storms in that area, but not really expected to be severe. Fire weather is not expected. Excessive rainfall definitely is possible. Look up there inside of the upstate. Slight risk of excessive rainfall up there from Greenville to Spartanburg to Rock Hill, Lancaster, Union, Walhalla. And then if you're in the green, you have a 5% risk of excessive rainfall. That goes for Bennettsville, Newberry, Lawrence, going into Greenwood and Anderson. Now for the crazy score, currently we're at a 14. Why? Well, currently we do have some beach hazard statements out right now over there for Horry County and Georgetown County. And then also the dense fog advisory over there inside of Berkeley County adds us to 8 points in the alerts category. And then for the conditions category, we are at a 6. We're at a 6 right now, which it does seem like the reason why we are there, just because it's cloudy in a couple of spots. Also, it's a bit breezy maybe in a couple of spots as well. But other than that, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the models. Time is at the bottom portion of your screen. Make sure that you go ahead and pay attention to that. We're going to start off here at around 9 p.m. And just as we go ahead and push this forward, those showers near the low country area kind of move their way up towards the north and east, fizzle out by 2 p.m. And watch as we go throughout like 7 p.m., 8, 9. I mean, we have some rainfall activity, towards our west, but not really impacting us too much until we get later on into the night. I mean, here's 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock in the morning this is. I mean, you're not seeing barely any rainfall, except for maybe a little bit throughout the upstate around 11 p.m. I mean, again, the severe weather risk that we were expecting to see, not really seeing it too much. And if we go in and take a look at yesterday, the 18Z for yesterday we had, a huge amount of storms moving in at 10 p.m. or so of today. Now look at 10 p.m. today on the 11Z model run. I mean, barely anything at all. So a huge downtrend from the models here in terms of today. Now, if we go and look at the 0Z, it started the downtrend a little bit. The 6Z, downtrended even more. And now the 11Z downgraded, all the way down. So models are like, at least the HRRR is like going on a pretty much a continuous downward, to where like you're not really seeing it just completely go away. You're gradually seeing the severe threat go away as we get into more model runs at one after the other. So something to watch for. I mean, like this turned into a pretty big system here, potentially, with pretty strong confidence of some storms to now wondering if we even will have a storm moving through. I mean, that's the reason why we have the marginal risk of severe weather, because it's isolated and it's, not so certain. Now, what about the NHC? Currently, Tropical Storm Bertha, 50-mile-per-hour storm. Currently, it's a 50-mile-per-hour storm. Tropical storm conditions are expected to continue along portions of the northern Gulf Coast from western Florida to southeastern Louisiana, including the metro New Orleans area through tonight. Tropical storm conditions are possible for portions of the southwestern coast of Louisiana in the Thursday. Coastal flood warning is in effect for the Mississippi and Louisiana coastline. Interests elsewhere in extreme western Louisiana and the upper Texas coast should monitor the progress of the system, as additional watches or warnings could be required later today. And then isolated areas of flooding remains possible through early Friday along the central to the western Gulf Coast from western Florida to southern Texas. So this is what the cone looks like right now. Cone looks like this, moving west at 5 miles per hour, currently a 50-mile-per-hour storm. And you can see the tropical storm force conditions. And it's going to continue all the way through, potentially until you move into Texas by 1 p.m. on Thursday. So by around, 1 o'clock p.m. this afternoon, it could be, causing a bunch of issues over there towards the southeastern Louisiana areas, towards New Orleans. And then even as you get to around 1 p.m. on Thursday, again, going all the way towards that border. Now, in terms of rip currents, we know rip currents is going to be an issue there. You know, everybody along this coast right here, high risk of rip currents there. And then storm surge, we're going to see, 1 to 4 feet of storm surge from the Osceola River all the way to Port Boulevard. And then the rainfall potential with this thing, I mean, it's continuing to stay really just towards those southern areas, but now areas of Texas may see an inch plus of rainfall, or maybe even 2 inches plus of rainfall. Now, if we go in and take a look and see what this thing currently looks like, this is what it currently looks like right now. We're not going to go over the ensembles this morning, but this is what it currently looks like, as we have a pretty strong consensus of where it's going to go, and it's not going to affect South Carolina in any way. But we will go over the models tonight, and that's going to wrap this up for this morning. If you have not hit the like button yet or the subscribe button yet, please go and do so. Also, hit the share button, share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, and people that you don't talk to regularly, because it's free. It's free. It's free. I will be back going into tonight, 9 o'clock p.m., with your Wednesday evening forecast update. We'll be halfway through the week through today. Make sure you're there, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.